8 situations where narcissists show who they really are. At first, narcissists look charming, confident, and even admirable. They know how to play the role of the perfect friend, partner, or leader. But psychologists explain that this is only a mask. The real narcissist always slips through in certain situations, moments where their need for control, validation, or superiority takes over. And in those moments, you see who they truly are beneath the performance. One situation where their mask cracks is during conflict. While healthy people try to resolve disagreements, narcissists escalate them. Psychologists say arguments reveal their fragile ego. They can't stand being wrong, so they lash out with insults, gaslighting, or stonewalling. Conflict exposes their obsession with winning, not resolving. It's in fights where you see the cold, controlling side they try so hard to hide. Another situation is when they lose control. Narcissists need to dictate the narrative, the mood, and even the smallest details. But when life doesn't go their way, traffic, delays, or someone saying no, they unravel. Psychologists highlight that loss of control triggers rage. Suddenly, the charm vanishes, replaced by entitlement and fury. In those moments, their insecurity is written all over their face. The third situation is when they're around someone who outshines them. Narcissists crave being the star of every room, but when someone smarter, kinder, or more admired steps in, their envy shows. Psychologists explain that they respond with subtle digs, dismissive comments, or even smear campaigns. Competition reveals their fear of irrelevance, showing just how fragile their sense of self really is. Another key moment is when you set boundaries. Narcissists see boundaries not as healthy limits but as rejection. Psychologists say this is when their mask drops. Instead of respecting your needs, they push back harder, mocking, guilt-tripping, or punishing you. Boundaries reveal their true belief, that your life exists to serve them, and this exposure shows just how toxic their mindset is. The fifth situation happens when they're criticized. Even gentle feedback feels like an attack. Psychologists note that narcissists lack resilience, so criticism sparks rage or denial. They may deflect blame, attack your character, or play the victim. In those moments, the polished exterior crumbles, revealing deep insecurity. Their inability to handle simple critique shows who they really are inside. Another moment is when they no longer need you. In the beginning, they shower you with attention. But once your usefulness fades, psychologists confirm they discard without hesitation. Coldness, detachment, or replacement reveals their transactional mindset. These moments prove they never valued you as a person, only as a source of supply. When they no longer need you, the mask falls completely. The seventh situation is when they're jealous. Whether it's your success, your relationships, or even your happiness, envy eats at them. Psychologists emphasize that jealousy strips away their charm. They can't hide the bitterness in their tone, the subtle sabotage, or the backhanded compliments. It's in jealousy that you see the ugly truth. They don't want you happy unless it makes them look better. Finally, narcissists reveal themselves when they're exposed. When lies no longer work and people see through the mask, they panic. Psychologists describe this as narcissistic collapse. Anger, blame shifting, or desperate manipulation surfaces instantly. Exposure corners them, and in that corner, the real narcissist comes out, bitter, fragile, and terrified of losing the image they built. So these 8 situations, conflict, loss of control, competition, boundaries, criticism, discard, jealousy, and exposure, are where narcissists show their true selves. Each moment pulls back the curtain on the illusion. Psychologists remind us, pay attention in these times, because they reveal the truth no mask can cover. If this resonates, stay tuned as we dive deeper into each one. Let's look deeper at conflict. Narcissists can't argue to solve problems. They argue to dominate. Psychologists explain that they twist facts, raise their voices, and attack your weakest points just to win. A simple disagreement turns into a battlefield. This shows who they really are, Not someone seeking truth, but someone desperate to avoid being seen as flawed. Their fragile ego cannot handle equality. In conflict, they often use gaslighting. Instead of addressing the issue, they make you doubt yourself. Psychologists call this a control tactic designed to shift blame. Suddenly, you're questioning your memory, your tone, even your sanity. That's when their mask slips. The charming storyteller becomes a cruel manipulator, exposing the dark truth beneath their polished surface. Loss of control is another situation that strips their disguise. Imagine them at a restaurant when the service is slow or an order is wrong. Instead of patience, they lash out at staff, showing entitlement. Psychologists emphasize that this isn't about the meal. It's about power. The inability to control every detail sparks rage, proving their happiness is fragile and conditional. In daily life, loss of control might look smaller. A child refusing instructions, a partner saying, "Not now," or a friend canceling plans. These simple boundaries feel like betrayal. Psychologists highlight that narcissists spiral because they see every no as disrespect. These reactions reveal the truth. Their sense of self is built on domination, not mutual respect. Competition is especially revealing. When someone outshines them, narcissists can't celebrate. Psychologists say instead of support, they respond with criticism or subtle sabotage. Maybe they downplay your achievements, gossip behind your back, or shift conversations to themselves. These moments show their deepest fear, being ordinary. Beneath the confidence lies deep insecurity, always threatened by someone else's light. Even in friendships, competition shows. A narcissist may act supportive, but later copy your ideas or spread rumors to undercut you. Psychologists note that they can't tolerate not being the smartest, funniest, or most admired in the room. Their mask of charm slips when envy takes over, and the ugliness underneath becomes impossible to miss. Boundaries are another powerful trigger. When you say, "I need space," or "I can't do that," the narcissist hears rejection. Psychologists confirm that boundaries expose their belief that they own you. Instead of respecting limits, they push harder, guilt-tripping, sulking, or even raging. This moment reveals their truth. They don't see you as separate, but as an extension of themselves. Setting financial or emotional boundaries is especially explosive. Tell a narcissist you won't lend money, or that you need a night to yourself, and watch the mask drop. Psychologists describe their reactions as entitlement-driven. Instead of gratitude or understanding, they punish you. These punishments, silent treatment, withdrawal of affection, or insults, expose who they are when their control is challenged. Criticism may be the fastest way to expose them. Healthy people can handle feedback. Narcissists? They crumble or explode. Psychologists highlight that even mild comments feel like daggers to their ego. They may deny, rage, or turn the blame back on you. These reactions reveal that their confidence is only skin deep. Beneath it lies a fragile child, terrified of being seen as less. Their response to criticism often includes victimhood. They'll twist the story so you look cruel for pointing out flaws. Psychologists say this defense is about avoiding accountability. Instead of reflection, they project. The mask of strength crumbles, replaced by self-pity. In that moment, you see the narcissist not as a leader or partner, but as someone emotionally stunted and weak. Discard is another revealing stage. When you're no longer useful, they turn cold. Psychologists confirm that this shows how transactional their relationships are. They may vanish without explanation, replace you quickly, or smear your name. This proves their love was never real. It was a performance fueled by what they could gain. The mask falls completely when you're no longer needed. Even worse, discards often happen suddenly. One day you're the center of their world, the next you're irrelevant. Psychologists say this abrupt shift reveals their emptiness. Real love doesn't vanish overnight, but theirs was never love. It was need. Their discard exposes the truth. They never valued you as a person, only as a source of supply. Jealousy is another window into their soul. When you're happy, successful, or admired, they can't hide the bitterness. Psychologists describe jealousy as their most unfiltered emotion. Instead of celebrating, they mock or minimize your achievement. In jealousy, the mask of support slips. What's left is a resentful figure, unable to find joy in anything they can't control. Their jealousy often shows in subtle digs. A narcissist might say, "That's nice, but anyone could do it," or "Let's see how long that lasts." Psychologists confirm these comments aren't harmless. They're designed to shrink you. These micro-attacks reveal their fear of being outshone. They hate seeing others live the happiness they cannot create for themselves. Exposure is the most devastating situation. When people see through their lies, narcissists unravel. Psychologists describe narcissistic collapse as rage, panic, or desperation. Their confidence vanishes, replaced by paranoia. You see them scramble to control the narrative, blaming others, making excuses. In this moment, their mask is shattered, and the fragile truth they hide becomes undeniable. Exposure doesn't always happen publicly. Sometimes it's as simple as one person saying, "I see what you're doing." Psychologists explain that even this small moment sends them into panic. Their fear of being unmasked proves how hollow their identity really is. They spend their lives hiding behind illusions, and when those illusions crumble, they are left with nothing. Another revealing moment is how they treat service workers. At a restaurant or in customer service, their mask slips easily. Psychologists note that narcissists are often kind to people they want to impress, but dismissive or cruel to those they see as beneath them. These interactions expose their lack of empathy and inflated sense of superiority. Pay attention when they think no one important is watching. Narcissists will snap at a waiter, insult a cleaner, or roll their eyes at strangers. Psychologists highlight that this shows their true self, someone who values hierarchy, not humanity. When the audience shifts, their behavior changes, proving that kindness was never authentic, only strategic. Family gatherings can also reveal their nature. Surrounded by relatives, narcissists may shift roles, playing the hero, the victim, or the star. Psychologists explain that these events often trigger envy or competition. They might dominate conversations, mock family members, or stir drama. In the chaos, their mask of perfect family member slips, exposing their hunger for control. Parenthood is another revealing situation. Narcissists may present as devoted parents in public, but at home, their control, neglect, or favoritism shows. Psychologists emphasize that children often see through the mask first. The way they demand loyalty or punish individuality exposes their inability to love unconditionally. Parenthood strips away illusions, showing the narcissist's true lack of empathy. Romantic relationships are perhaps the most revealing arena. Early stages are filled with love bombing, but as time passes, the devaluation begins. Psychologists note that partners see the ugliest sides, the rage, the gaslighting, the betrayals. These relationships are where the mask slips most often, because intimacy makes it hard to maintain illusions forever. Watch how they handle rejection. When someone turns them down, the mask crumbles fast. Psychologists highlight that rejection feels like annihilation to their ego. Instead of acceptance, they lash out, smear reputations, or spiral into self-pity. This moment shows their dependency on constant validation. Without it, they reveal themselves as deeply insecure and fragile. Workplace settings also expose them. They may act like team players in front of managers, but undermine co-workers behind the scenes. Psychologists explain that their ambition often hides cruelty. When promotions or praise go to others, their envy erupts. Their inability to celebrate others' success exposes their true motivation: dominance, not collaboration. Vacations or social trips reveal another side. At first, they seem fun and adventurous, but when plans don't go their way, their entitlement surfaces. Psychologists say that lack of control during travel often triggers tantrums or sulking. These moments reveal their need to dictate every detail, proving how little tolerance they have for compromise. Financial struggles also pull the mask away. When money is tight, their generosity vanishes. Psychologists note that they may become selfish, controlling, or manipulative about resources. These situations expose their transactional mindset. People are valuable only as long as they bring something to the table. Stress reveals the greed and entitlement beneath the polished exterior. Health challenges strip away illusions too. When ill, narcissists expect endless care and sympathy but rarely show gratitude. Psychologists affirm that illness exposes their self-centeredness. Instead of mutual support, they drain others with demands. Their lack of empathy becomes obvious, proving that relationships were always one-sided, designed to serve their needs alone. Watch how they act when others receive sympathy. If someone else is sick or struggling, they hijack the attention. Psychologists describe this as emotional theft. Instead of offering comfort, they redirect the spotlight to themselves. These moments expose their inability to care without centering their own ego, showing the hollowness behind their performance of empathy. Celebrations reveal their envy clearly. At birthdays or graduations, they may sulk, criticize, or dominate the event. Psychologists highlight that narcissists hate not being the star. What should be someone else's special day becomes their stage for drama. Their inability to celebrate others exposes their selfishness more than any insult ever could. Public exposure, like being confronted in front of others, is devastating for them. Psychologists explain that humiliation cuts through their defenses instantly. Instead of handling it gracefully, they lash out, storm off, or attack reputations. These explosions show their immaturity and fear of losing image, revealing a childlike fragility beneath their mask. Private exposure, though, is just as revealing. A simple moment of being called out by a partner or close friend triggers defensiveness. Psychologists note that even gentle honesty shatters their illusion. They panic because being truly known feels like death to their ego. These reactions prove that their confidence is nothing more than fragile armor. Even holidays can expose them. Family traditions focus on love and connection, but narcissists often use them for attention. Psychologists say they may create drama, demand spotlight, or ruin the mood to regain control. These actions expose their emptiness, because while others cherish connection, the narcissist only craves admiration. Another revealing moment is generosity. When giving gifts, narcissists often brag or expect recognition. Psychologists explain that their generosity is conditional. If gratitude isn't big enough, they sulk or punish. True giving comes from love, but their giving is about control. These moments expose their selfish motives, shattering the illusion of kindness. Loss also reveals their core. When someone close passes away, healthy people grieve with empathy. Narcissists often center themselves, complaining about inconvenience or demanding sympathy. Psychologists say this lack of empathy is one of the clearest signs of their true nature. Loss strips away performance, leaving only their self-absorption in plain view. Technology exposes them too. Online, they craft perfect images, but private messages reveal manipulation, flirting, or cruelty. Psychologists emphasize that digital communication often captures their unmasked self. Screenshots or texts expose lies, revealing that their charm is only for public display. Behind the keyboard, their true arrogance and selfishness come out. Aging strips their mask as well. Youth gave them charm, but age brings vulnerability. Psychologists confirm that without beauty, energy, or status, their illusions fade. Their bitterness grows, exposing how little they built beyond appearances. Aging reveals their truth. They never cultivated depth, only performance. The suffering at the end of life becomes the clearest exposure of all. Romantic rejection is another breaking point. When someone they idealized refuses to return, their mask vanishes. Psychologists say rejection feels catastrophic because it confirms their worst fear, being unworthy. Their rage, smearing, or desperate attempts reveal just how dependent they are on validation. Rejection shows the insecure child hiding beneath the mask of superiority. Friendship endings expose them too. When friends set boundaries or move on, narcissists react with bitterness. Psychologists emphasize that true friendship requires reciprocity, but they only take. Losing friends shows the imbalance. Their angry or dismissive response reveals they never valued the bond, only the benefits. The ending unmasks their selfish motives completely. Even parenting moments reveal them. When a child asserts independence, narcissists feel threatened. Psychologists confirm that instead of celebrating growth, they punish or guilt trip. These reactions expose their need for control, even over the most natural process of growing up. Parenthood strips away illusions quickly, showing their inability to nurture without domination. So, in all these situations, conflict, rejection, envy, exposure, boundaries, illness, or simple daily life, the mask eventually slips. Psychologists remind us, the real narcissist always emerges under pressure. These glimpses show the truth that charm can never hide forever. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, and you understand who they really are beneath the act. And here's the takeaway. Narcissists work hard to hide, but life always exposes them. Pay attention to these situations because they reveal their true self. Selfish, fragile, and desperate for control. Use this knowledge to protect your peace. And if this video gave you clarity, hit like, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe for more insights into narcissistic behavior.